And I guess we'll see how all this goes together in a little bit. Came with some cement here, some medium black ABS cement, some zip ties, a couple packets of dielectric compound. I'll be documenting myself as I'm doing it so you guys can see, and maybe it'll help you guys set yours up a little bit easier. All right, I guess the first step was to remove the seat, and I already did that yesterday. I had installed my Rancher 420 box. That way I didn't have to actually seal this resonator box and have another area where it could fault. So that's when I actually took this out yesterday. And pretty much you just have to take these little clips off so you can take off this ECM box. There's a couple clips that plug in here, and then there's one bolt underneath here, and it should come loose, and then you should be able to remove the intake, the original intake. And the next step, what we're here for, is we're gonna mark the hole that we're gonna cut. All right, so according to this manual, we need this thing is 2 3/4 down and 2 3/4 up, so I think that should be around 5 1/2, I would imagine. Yes, looks about right. So this is just gonna go where they measured it here, and I guess we'll have to mark it from the top here. 2 3/4. Seems about right. And then now we need to mark it going sideways. 2 1/8. Let's see where. So we measure from here. I would assume then we'll use this side, so then it has to be here. 2 1/4 there, and then imagine there. All right, it seems like it. We'll see. I guess we'll have some. We'll have to check it out. We want to run the pipe first, anyways, just to confirm underneath. And good thing there's light, so I can see the markings, and we'll see if it lands close to the center. All right, so we're gonna install this little elbow first. We basically have to install everything first before we actually glue it with the PVC cement glue. I went ahead and put a little bit of dielectric grease on the boot there, so it'll be easier to slide in. We're actually sliding in this elbow according to the instructions, and it's pretty much all we have. I was expecting a smooth pipe, but it's not. Try to get a real nice snug fit. Sure, it looks like it's on there. Because once we start putting the glue on here, this is the shape we're gonna have to keep. So now, according to this, we use this coupler. It's 1 1/2 to 2 inch coupler, rubber coupler, and that's what we're gonna do then right now. Go ahead and we're just gonna slide it in for now. I believe these areas here we are not gonna glue. We're just gonna tighten up. This goes here, and this should. Okay. All right, so we had the little quick elbow. I had to take it off from here. I'll show you guys how I did it. Thing is, we're not tightening anything yet, so we just gotta lay the pipe out how it needs to be laid. Okay, so pretty much I used the, I'm not really sure what angle of elbow this is, man, to be honest with you, but it's shorter than the one that follows, and then pretty much ran it through here. Make sure we have this pipe to the left of it too. There we go. Make sure everything's in right. Right there. Right here. And it looks like we're, oops. We're almost there. All right, so we're gonna start the cut. Looks like it's pretty damn close. Look at that, guys. Unfortunately, this is just 2 1/3. I need a 2 3/8, but it's all I have, so I'm gonna have to sand it down a little bit. Some stuff. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and get started on sanding that down so we can actually get that deal inside there. And we'll go from there. All right. Okay, guys. So we've got it installed. After I cleaned up that hole a little bit, that O-ring here should go on the bottom, but we're not gonna seal it yet, as we're gonna mark the spots on these joints so we can go inside and cement them at the exact spots that we need them. So we basically do like a mock install, and then we mark them, take it apart, go inside carefully, cement everything, and then let it dry. It should dry pretty fast, and then we'll put it back up. We're not gonna put any cement on any of the rubber, only the joints, and that's it. So we're gonna go get a pen and start marking them. I'm gonna go ahead and apply glue to the fittings. Fortunately, I only had a red Sharpie marker, so I can barely see it, but I can see it here. I marked a few spots, that way I can make sure I align it back perfectly. So we're gonna remove it, and then we're gonna smear it here. Not too much, but enough. That looks, probably might have been a little too much, but so we got that. We're gonna go ahead and find the spot. There it is, right there. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and do the next part here. Marked here and here. So down like this. Oops. getting stuff on me. Got a cut earlier. Okay, right here we got our 2 spots. Where are they? Right here. Right there. Make sure it's nice and snug. We don't want this thing leaking. And I guess we could possibly run a little bead on the outside too, since it's gonna be, you're not gonna see it too much. No, my dad probably would have done it. Just to get it out there. I'm gonna try to put those together. So we just got one line coming up. Gonna run a line for the fuel here, and I'm gonna do a loop back so it doesn't sputter up. Just do a little loop and probably just hide it somewhere underneath the frame so you can't really see it. The rear drum, we're just gonna leave it because it doesn't even work. We don't even use it. I'm gonna have to eventually delete that. As far as the radiator, we're gonna, according to the instructions, we're just gonna run a loop and leave it where it's at. I will be getting a snorkel relocation kit, so when that does come in, we probably will be moving everything to the top, including the reservoir. And as far as this water pump deal, I ended up just getting a line from a local store, and I ran it and I put a loop, and it's running down here to the front. And I think that's it. Crankcase goes to the motor, goes to the airbox, which is completely sealed. Hopefully, at least. All right, guys, so we're done with the snorkel installation, the Extreme Snorkels installation. So just to give a brief summary of what we did, we first things first is we took off this airbox here, the old I guess the old intake, removed it. We're removing this, and then we measured here. I think it was 2 1/8 and 2 3/4 down. Drilled the hole there. Then we connected it, the elbow inside the boot, all the way to the front down here. See if you can get a look of how it looks back there. And then once it was all set up, we marked it. Then we took it all down, and then we did it. We glued it with the cement. So we'll have to test it first to see. All right, so this is how we're gonna check to test. Man, earlier I thought it was leaking, but I had forgot to put the drain plug. But anyhow, they say to turn it on here, power it on, and then to put your hand over it, but to turn it off before it turns off, and then see if it'll keep the suction for at least 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I think that's probably sealed enough. We'll see.